Hello and welcome. Let me ask you a question. What's the very first thing you think about when your feet touch the floor in the morning? Is it the day ahead, the coffee you're about to make, or is there a fleeting moment of hesitation? A quiet internal check-in to make sure you feel steady, to make sure you feel solid before you take that first step. If that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. For so many of us, as the years go by, that feeling of unshakable confidence in our balance can begin to fade. It's not something we talk about much, but it's a quiet anxiety that can follow us through the day, making us think twice about a walk on an uneven sidewalk or reaching for something on a high shelf. And here's something you may not know, a finding that really caught my attention. Did you know that a fear of falling can actually increase your risk of a fall? Some studies suggest by as much as 60%. Think about that for a moment. The very anxiety we feel, the very caution we try to exercise can sometimes work against us by making us tense and hesitant. It creates a cycle where we feel nervous, so we limit our activities, which then weakens our muscles and makes our balance even more precarious. But what if we could break that cycle? What if we could take a small, safe, and powerful step toward rebuilding not just our physical stability, but our confidence right from the comfort and safety of our favorite chair? Today, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to embark on a simple 3-minute morning balance routine. And I know what you might be thinking. Balance exercises? In a chair? How does that work? True balance happens on your feet. And you are absolutely right. But here is the secret that physical therapists and senior fitness experts understand so well. Before you can stand tall, you have to build a strong foundation. This routine is what we could call pre-balance training. It's about waking up and activating the exact muscles you need for stability, all in a completely safe, supported environment. We're going to build that foundational strength, improve our mobility, and most importantly, build the confidence you need to progress. The good news, as research from institutions like the National Institute on Aging shows, is that taking these small, consistent steps can make a profound difference in regaining your confidence and your stability. So here's our plan for today. First, we're going to talk about the why behind this approach, addressing that skepticism head-on and explaining why starting in a chair is the smartest first step you can take. Then, I will guide you, step by step, through a gentle 3-minute seated warm-up designed to wake up your joints and activate those crucial lower body muscles. After that, we'll cover the single most important transition of the day, moving safely from sitting to standing, using the chair as our trusted partner. From there, we'll introduce one or two very basic standing balance exercises, always with the support of our chair, to gently begin challenging our stability in a controlled way. Finally, we'll cool down and talk about the path forward, transforming this simple routine into a powerful daily habit. And you'll definitely want to stick around until the very end, because I have a wonderful bonus tip that will help you integrate balance training into an activity you already do every single day. And a quick but important reminder, I am not a doctor, and this video is for informational and educational purposes only. The information provided is designed to be a safe starting point for many, but you should always consult with your physician or a qualified physical therapist before starting any new exercise program, especially if you have pre-existing conditions, pain, or significant balance concerns. It can help you determine what is safest and most effective for your individual needs. Your health is a partnership, and your doctor is your most important partner. Now, let's begin by tackling that big, important question. Why on earth do we start in a chair? It can feel a bit counterintuitive, can't it? The goal is to feel steadier on our feet. So shouldn't we be practicing on our feet? I completely understand that line of thinking. It shows a desire to get right to the heart of the problem, and that's a wonderful intention. However, think of it like building a house. You would never start putting up the walls and the roof without first pouring a solid, reliable concrete foundation. To do so would be to build something destined to be weak and unstable. Our bodies are no different. The muscles in our legs, our ankles, and our core are the foundation for our balance. When we are seated, we take the fear of falling completely out of the equation. This allows our brain to focus 100% on activating the correct muscles without any background anxiety. Research has shown that even simple seated exercises, when done correctly and consistently, can significantly improve muscular strength and endurance, which are key components of better balance. We are isolating and waking up the very muscles that will support us when we stand. We're targeting the muscles in our shins and calves that help us navigate uneven ground, the powerful quadriceps in our thighs that lift us out of chairs, and the gluteal muscles that keep our pelvis stable. So, you see, this isn't a substitute for standing practice. It's the essential preparation for it. It's an intelligent, strategic first step that sets you up for success. As a wise physical therapist once noted on a forum for older adults, for an exercise to improve balance, it needs to challenge you. The key is to find the right level of challenge in a safe environment. And that is our mission today, the right challenge in the safest possible environment. So let's get into position. Find a sturdy, stable chair. A dining room chair without wheels is perfect. You don't want a chair that's too soft or too low, as it can make standing up more difficult. Sit forward, away from the back of the chair so your feet can be flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Sit up nice and tall, imagining a string gently pulling the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. This posture alone is a wonderful exercise for your core. Take a nice, deep breath in and let it out. Our first movement in this 3-minute seated routine is the ankle circle. This might seem incredibly simple, but its benefits are immense. Our ankles are our first line of defense against a trip or a stumble. They are constantly making tiny, rapid adjustments to keep us upright. By improving their flexibility and mobility, we are quite literally improving our ability to adapt to the ground beneath us. Think about walking on a grassy lawn or a slightly uneven patch of pavement. It's your ankles that do the hard work of keeping you stable. I remember talking to a woman named Eleanor who was nervous about walking her dog in the park after a minor stumble. She started doing simple ankle circles every morning, and within a few weeks, she said she felt a noticeable difference in her confidence on that familiar park path. It wasn't a miracle. It was just the result of consistently preparing her body for the task. So let's do it together. Sitting tall, lift your right foot just an inch or two off the floor. Now, slowly and deliberately, begin to draw a circle with your big toe. Imagine you're tracing the shape of a dinner plate. Make the circle as large as you can without straining. Let's do 5 circles in one direction. 1, 2. Feel that movement in the ankle joint. 3, 4, 5. Wonderful. Now let's reverse the direction for 5 more circles. 1, 2. Slow and controlled is the key. 3, 4, and 5. Now place that foot back on the floor and let's give the left foot its turn. Lift it slightly and begin your 5 circles. 1, 2, noticing if this side feels any different, which is completely normal. 3, 4, 5. And reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. You've just woken up more than a dozen muscles and ligaments in your feet and ankles. From the ankles, we move up the leg to the powerhouse muscles in our thighs, the quadriceps. These are the muscles that straighten your knee and are absolutely essential for things like getting up from a chair, climbing stairs, and providing the power to stop a forward fall. Our next movement is the seated leg extension. This directly targets and strengthens those quadriceps. Think of these muscles as the strong pillars that support the entire structure of your body. The stronger they are, the more solid you will feel in almost every activity. Here's how we do it. Again, sitting tall and holding onto the sides of the chair for a little support if you like. Keeping your thigh on the chair, slowly extend your right leg out in front of you until it is as straight as you can comfortably get it. As you extend, focus on squeezing that big muscle on the top of your thigh. Hold it there for just a second, feeling that muscle engage. Then, slowly and with control, lower it back down to the starting position. Let's do 5 of these on the right side. Up, squeeze, and slowly down. That's 1. Up, squeeze, and control the descent. That's 2. The controlled lowering is just as important as the lift. 3. Feel that muscle working. 4. 1 more. And 5. Beautiful. Now let's switch to the left leg. Extend the left leg out, squeeze the thigh muscle, and slowly lower it down. 1. Up, squeeze, and down. 2. Keep your breathing steady. 3. You're doing wonderfully. 4. And last one, 5. Just by doing that, you sent a clear signal to your body's main support muscles that it's time to wake up and get to work. Now for our final seated movement, which brings everything together, the seated march. This exercise is fantastic because it mimics the motion of walking, engaging not only your leg muscles, but also your core abdominal muscles, which are critical for overall stability. It helps with the coordination between the left and right sides of your body and gets your heart rate up just a little bit. Remaining seated tall, we are simply going to march in place. Lift your right knee up toward the ceiling, as if you're marching. Then, place your foot back down. As the right foot comes down, lift the left knee up. We want to create a nice, steady rhythm. Let's try to march for about 30 seconds. Right and left. Right and left. You can place your hands on your lap or hold the sides of the chair. Try to keep your back straight and your core engaged. Don't just flop your legs up and down. Lift them with purpose. Feel how your stomach muscles have to tighten slightly to keep you stable in the chair as your legs move. This is exactly the kind of integrated movement that translates to better balance in the real world. Keep going. Just a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1. And rest. Take another deep breath. You have now successfully completed the warm-up and strength-building portion of our routine. You have activated the key muscles from your ankles to your core and prepared your body for the next important step. All right, let's just take a quick pause here. We've laid the groundwork. We've discussed why starting in the chair is such an intelligent strategy, and we've gone through the 3 core seated movements to build that foundational strength. You are already making a positive investment in your stability and your confidence. We've covered the pre-balance training, and now we're getting ready to build the bridge to standing. If you're finding this guide helpful and encouraging so far, I would be so grateful if you took just a moment to tap that like button below. It truly helps this video reach more people just like you who are looking for safe and effective ways to stay active and independent. Thank you so much for that. Now we come to what is arguably one of the most important and frequently performed movements of our entire day, the transition from sitting to standing. Getting this right is a skill, and practicing it safely is a game changer for your confidence. We're going to use the chair not as a crutch, but as a tool, a stable partner in this process. According to experts at places like Johns Hopkins Medicine, practicing the sit-to-stand motion is one of the best functional exercises you can do for fall prevention. So let's break it down. Before you even think about standing, get yourself into the ready position. Scoot your hips forward to the front third of the chair seat. Place your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart, and slide them back slightly so your ankles are just behind your knees. This positioning creates a stable base of support and mechanically loads your legs to do the work, rather than putting strain on your back. Now, place your hands on the arms of the chair or on your thighs. Lean your torso forward slightly, keeping your back straight. The phrase to remember is nose over toes. This forward shift moves your center of gravity over your feet, which is essential for a stable liftoff. From this nose over toes position, press down firmly through your feet, feeling the floor beneath you. Push through your heels and squeeze your thigh and gluteal muscles as you drive yourself up to a standing position. Use your hands for assistance as much as you need, but let your legs do as much of the work as they can. Once you are fully upright, stand tall and take a moment. Don't be in a rush to walk away. Just stand there. Feel your feet on the floor and find your equilibrium. The goal is to make this entire movement smooth, controlled, and powerful. Let's practice it once more. Slowly and with control, reverse the motion to sit back down. Hinge at your hips, keep your back straight, and aim your hips for the chair seat. Use your hands for guidance. Now, let's try going up again. Feet set, scooted forward, nose over toes, and press up to standing. Wonderful. Making this single transition a conscious, controlled movement every time you do it throughout the day is a phenomenal way to build strength and confidence. Now that we are standing, we're going to stay right here using our sturdy chair for support. We have arrived at the part of our routine where we gently challenge our balance. Remember, the goal is not perfection. It is not to be perfectly still like a statue. In fact, wobbling is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of learning. Those little wobbles and corrections are your nervous system and your muscles communicating, figuring out how to work together to keep you upright. That is the balance system getting stronger. We are going to do a simple heel-to-toe stand, but with a major safety modification. Turn to face a wall or a sturdy counter, or simply turn to the side of your chair so you can hold on to the back of it with both hands for support. Stand with your feet together. Now take your right foot and place it on the floor directly in front of your left foot, so that the heel of your right foot is touching or nearly touching the toes of your left foot. It's like standing on a tightrope, but with a built-in safety net. Your hands on the chair. Hold this position. You will likely feel your ankles working and your leg muscles firing to keep you steady. Keep your gaze fixed on a point in front of you that isn't moving. Don't look down at your feet, as this can throw off your balance. Just breathe and hold. If this feels very easy, you can try lifting 1 or 2 fingers off the chair. If it feels too challenging, simply widen your stance a little bit. The key is to find that sweet spot of gentle challenge. Let's hold for about 10 to 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Now carefully step your feet back to being side by side. Shake it out a little. Now let's switch sides. This time, place your left foot directly in front of your right. Again, holding on to the chair for support. Stand tall, core engaged, eyes looking forward. You might find one side feels much more stable than the other. This is completely normal for almost everyone. It just tells you which side might need a little extra attention. Feel the micro adjustments happening in your body. This is active, real-world balance training in a safe, controlled setting. Let's hold for another. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and carefully bring your feet back together side by side. You did it. You have officially challenged your balance system and made it stronger. Now our workout is complete, and it's time for the cool down. Carefully turn and sit back down in your chair, using that safe sit-to-stand technique we just practiced. A cool down is important because it helps your muscles relax and your heart rate return to normal. We'll do one simple, gentle stretch. While seated tall, extend your right leg out in front of you, with your heel on the floor and your toes pointing up to the ceiling. Now, keeping your back straight, gently lean forward from your hips until you feel a light stretch in the back of your thigh, your hamstring. Don't push it to the point of pain. Just a comfortable, gentle stretch. This muscle can get tight from sitting, and keeping it flexible is important for mobility. Let's hold here for about 20 seconds, just breathing into the stretch. And slowly come back up. Now, let's do the other side. Extend the left leg, heel on the floor, toes up. Hinge forward from the hips with a straight back until you feel that gentle stretch. Hold and breathe. This is a wonderful way to thank your body for the work it just did. And release. So what comes next? You have just completed the start from your chair morning balance routine. The most important thing you can do now is to commit to making this a habit. 3 minutes every morning. That's it. Think of it as being just as essential as brushing your teeth or having your first cup of coffee. It's a small deposit into your health and independence bank account. As you get more comfortable and confident, you can gradually increase the challenge. Maybe you hold the standing balance position for a few seconds longer. Maybe you try to lift one hand off the chair for support. The journey to better balance is not a sprint. It's a marathon made up of small, consistent daily steps. And this routine is your perfect, safe, and effective first step on that journey. You've proven to yourself that you can take proactive steps to improve your stability and, just as importantly, your confidence. And now for that bonus tip I promised you. This is a way to practice what's called integrated or opportunistic balance training. It means finding small moments in your existing daily routine to work on your stability. One of the best opportunities is while you're brushing your teeth. Most of us stand at the bathroom counter for 2 minutes twice a day. The next time you're brushing your teeth, stand with one hand lightly resting on the counter for support. Then, simply lift one foot off the ground an inch or two and try to balance on one leg. Hold it for as long as you can. Then, switch to the other leg. You can alternate back and forth for the entire 2 minutes. The counter is right there for complete safety. But you are actively engaging your balance system during an activity you are going to do anyway. It's a brilliant and simple way to reinforce the work you do in your morning routine and accelerate your progress without taking any extra time out of your day. You have accomplished so much today. We didn't just go through a few exercises. We dismantled the myth that you can't improve your balance from a chair. We established that building a strong foundation is the smartest way to begin. That's your first win. We then walked through a simple, repeatable 3-minute routine that activates your entire support system, from your ankles up. That's your second win. And we created a bridge from the safety of the chair to the challenge of standing, giving you a technique to move with more power and confidence throughout your day. That is a huge win. This knowledge is now yours. You are in the driver's seat. You have a tool, a strategy to actively combat the fear of falling and to reclaim a sense of physical autonomy. This is about so much more than just preventing a fall. It's about expanding your world again, feeling confident to say yes to a walk in the park, to playing with grandchildren, to living your life with less anxiety and more joy. Now, I would love to hear from you. We're all on this journey together, and we can learn so much from one another. In the comments section below, please share what your biggest balance challenge is, or perhaps which part of this routine felt the most helpful for you. Your story and your insights could be the very thing that encourages someone else to take this important first step. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and found value in our time together today, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that little notification bell. We have so much more to explore on the path to aging well, and I would be honored to have you as part of our community. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Remember that every small, consistent step you take is a powerful move in the right direction. Be well, stay empowered, and I'll see you in the next video.